2 of Bloc to Block podcast,
Yes, sir.
the best podcast in the world for all things Web3. Here we're going to be breaking down the technology, what's going on in the market, and the ways in which you can benefit. I am the marvelous Mamadou,
I am the dashing Derek.
and we're happy to be here today, man. Let's get started.
Yes, sir. Episode 2, man. I'm excited.
Same. How was your weekend, man?
It was good. It was good. But not really. I got my wisdom teeth pulled out. So yeah, that shit was painful. But it's all good. It's all good. Got it over and done with. So we ready to get back to it, man. Ready to get back to it. How about you? How your weekend went?
It was cool. Mine was smooth. Like my wisdom teeth been removed and all that. So
You ain't gotta rub it in. You ain't gotta rub it in. That ain't,
right.
that ain't cool. That ain't cool.
But at least you did it in one sitting. I took like 2 years apart. But other than that, man, I was chilling. I listened to that God Did album by DJ Khaled.
Okay.
Fire.
Okay. God did.
We the best music. Believe in us.
Mama
Shame on you.
did.
Yo, that joint was fire, man.
Okay. I didn't get a chance to listen to it yet. I feel like any and everything would have made me sick this past weekend. So that's high on my list for this upcoming weekend. For sure.
Man.
For sure.
All right, man. Well, give it a listen, man, because like I said, Wayne went off, Jay-Z went off, Rick Ross was dope. Who else was on it? Eminem went off. Like,
okay,
it's dope because, like, in terms of hip hop albums, it has like all different sounds, right? Like, you have the GOAT rappers, you have like more poppy type dance raps, you have like the trap stuff. Like, it was lit. It was like a really good holistic hip hop album.
Yeah, DJ Khaled had to shake back after the last one. So it's good to hear he did something right this time around.
Another one. Man. Well, speaking of another one, we got some more crazy, really cool stories to hit on today, right? I want to kick things off with talking about Ethereum. So as we know, Ethereum has been in the news a lot because of the merge that they're taking to update their product, their way of processing from a proof of work to a proof of stake. Yeah. And people have been really excited. However, there may be a bit of an obstacle in the way because Hetzner, which is a German-based cloud servicing firm, is possibly going to kick off Ethereum from their platform. So, right, it's kind of crazy, man.
Oh man, damn.
So
why that happened? I mean, you got to tell the people we need more.
Yeah, so Hetzner is, what they do is they host some of the Ethereum nodes. And a node is just a computer that does like the processing for that Ethereum blockchain network.
Right.
And they actually host up to 16% of their nodes. And what they came out in an official statement via Reddit
okay,
is that their company does not allow for crypto mining, nor does it allow for crypto staking. And as we know, Ethereum is going to a proof of stake protocol, right?
Yeah.
So
how many nodes are on that Hetzner cloud hosting service?
16% of Ethereum nodes.
Wow. Yeah, that's crazy.
It is. And I did a little bit more digging as well because I was like, dang, like how does one company like host so many of these nodes, right?
Right.
And then I looked and I found that, funny enough, AWS, Amazon Web Services, which is the biggest cloud computing firm in the market, they host 53% of Ethereum nodes.
That's serious.
It's serious, bro.
So that means if for whatever reason, Vitalik start beefing with Bezos, the Buterin Bezos beef start up, Ethereum might be screwed. That's what I'm hearing.
I am too, bro. And like, it's crazy because as we read this, it really raises the question of is Ethereum really decentralized, right?
Right.
Because as we know in this space, a huge like attribute of the blockchain is this idea of it not being decentralized, meaning that no one organization controls the network, right? And
Yeah.
it's decentralized. Everybody plays a part in it. There's no central ownership. It's like a
Right.
power to the people type thing. But
Right.
Hetzner powers 16% of this network, and AWS powers 53%. That's 69%.
It's tough though, man, because how do you overcome that, right? Like AWS, they power so much, and it's not easy to host, host
Oh yeah.
web services. So, it's almost like a catch-22 where it's like you would need more like hosting platforms, but man, it takes so much money to do that, and you don't want to. I guess the Ethereum Foundation wouldn't want to bring that in house, right? Because then that centralization goes from AWS to Ethereum, which begs another ethics question, if you will, of whether this is truly decentralized, who is really controlling, this platform and all these other platforms that are being built from it, right? So, it's that's kind of tricky. It's kind of
It
tricky.
is tricky. To me, like the idea that comes up is it may be an opportunity for like business owners who provide like smaller cloud servicing firms, right? Who could possibly get involved with that Ethereum network and say, hey, we can host some of your nodes, right? Because Ethereum's in a predicament, right, where essentially two companies power like almost 70% of their network.
Right.
That's not decentralized, bro.
Right.
Like you said, you piss off the wrong person, or the organizations may take a different change. You're vulnerable, and Ethereum's vulnerable, as we're seeing with Hetzner saying, "Hey, it's very possible that Ethereum is going to get kicked off." Because Hetzner's in this predicament too. Like they let out that statement. Like if they don't back their word, it looks kind of crazy,
Right.
especially to the Reddit community.
Is there a reason why Hetzner said that they were making that move, or is it just they didn't really give a reason? They just came out and said, "Hey, we're not dealing with this anymore."
Yeah. So from what I've seen, it was just more so from a policy standpoint, and I think it's like there's so much attention right now with Ethereum. All eyes are watching them. Like you have the Ethereum crypto traders who are like trying to buy all the ETH right now because they see that value going up. You have organizations looking at Ethereum saying like, "Hey, not only are they the biggest DApp provider in the whole Web3 ecosystem, they're going to be more efficient too. Like we may want to start using them within our organization." So there's so much buzz around Ethereum, and with that, there's going to be people are going to look into things such as like who powers the network and whatnot. And Hetzner's in this position where they're like, "Hey, we got to put out a statement." So it's kind of crazy, man. Like I personally love Ethereum, right? Like I think it's great for just different solutions that can come out, and it has make a huge positive benefit.
Right.
But that joint ain't decentralized, bro. Because
That's what it sounded like.
like from like the network standpoint, it's not. And then also like with the cryptocurrency ETH or the actual cryptocurrency is like not decentralized because back in February, Morgan Stanley said they put out a report called Cryptocurrency 201. What is Ethereum? And they said it was less decentralized than Bitcoin. They said top 100 addresses, like the top 100 people own, back in February, it could be different now, but back then, the top 100 folk own 39% of Ethereum. So get this, right? As of today, all of the Ethereum in the market is worth 17.4 billion, right?
Okay.
Big bets, right?
Slight work.
So if they own 39%, it could be possibly more, right? Because we're in this recession. But just going back to February, 39% of that is 6.78 billion.
Wow.
That ain't decentralized, bro.
Yeah, man. Yeah, that's not spreading the wealth at all.
It's not.
It sounds like it's a repeat at this point. You know, it's a
Yeah.
repeat. Okay, that's crazy. So what's the takeaway from all this? What can the people kind of take away from what's going on with Ethereum and Hetzner, and I'll talk about decentralization, and is Ethereum really decentralized? What can the people take away from this?
My personal opinion based on the facts. But the main takeaway, I would say, similar to what we said last week, for all my creators and all my business owners who want to get involved with the blockchain,
Yeah.
and like making your projects, take your time to really research these blockchains, and you got to assess like how sustainable they are. Like, so how many, like, is it truly decentralized? How many nodes are being powered by like a couple of companies, right? Like, so for example, if you're looking at Ethereum and you see like, oh, okay, two organizations power the majority of the network, that raises questions. Like, if you're comfortable with that, that's cool. Not saying don't proceed with it, but it's something to really assess to see like overall how sustainable you think this is going to be in the long run. Because we're in the space when we can really build powerful projects and like make true value, but you have to choose the right blockchain that you believe has some longevity.
Okay, that makes sense. That makes sense. Also, what I'm hearing too. You heard it here first. Other hosting services, big opportunity coming up. You
Mm-hmm.
know, 16% of the nodes are looking, for a new home. We can't let it all go to Amazon.
We can.
So
You can fight Bezos in them.
I ain't gonna lie, that sounds like a losing battle, but
No, but there's riches in the niches, right? And like if
true
you can
that.
carve out your space in the market,
That's true.
like you don't have to be like, oh, we power 20% of the network. But if you can get like a significant stake of it, bro,
Yeah.
you can, do something that's profitable. So definitely for like business owners who are like into cloud computing and like hosting services, this is a good opportunity.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Well, that's great. That's great. We appreciate you telling us about Ethereum and the newest new on Hetzner and what they're going through. I wanna switch gears a little bit and hop into our next topic, man. Like, so of course, they're technically our competitors, but I did want to talk a little bit about Opensea because they did announce that they will start accepting Polygon and Matic. To just kind of toot our own horn, that's kind of the route that we're starting with, because we've
Mhm.
seen the value in that layer 2 solution and what that can mean and what that can do for a platform. But I
Right.
wanted to run through, give another perspective, give a competitor's perspective on this Polygon platform and that Matic token. I mean, if you don't know, Matic is the cryptocurrency for the Polygon network. Although it is a side chain to Ethereum, like we talked about last week, they do have their own cryptocurrency.
Mhm.
Um, so OpenSea announced on August 30th that they'll start integrating Polygon into its Seaport protocol. And so they really made that change as a way to avoid high Ethereum gas fees and
Mhm.
make signature confirmation actions easier to read and remove the need for new users to pay an account initialization or setup fee. I kind of want to touch on that signature confirmation because that's huge too. And basically, what that is whenever you go to purchase or you're selling an NFT, when that transaction pops up, there's some information that's given on the crypto wallet or within the crypto wallet, right? And it just kind of lays out, you know, currently or before what it would do is just give uh, the addresses, right? The public addresses of the people who's participating, and it would give also a hash of the message, the offer message, if you will, the offer in consideration. Well, now with this new technology, it'll actually show what's in the offer and the consideration, right? So your offer is what the person buying is willing to offer for an NFT, and the consideration is what that NFT seller is requiring, and what they'll consider as payment for that NFT, or for any item, if you will, any token. And so that comes alongside Seaport, which is a protocol that they're upgrading. In terms of Opensea, they used a previous protocol, but now they're doing Seaport, right? And that allows for buyers to offer a mix of crypto and tokens, or NFTs, if you will, to acquire an NFT. So what that means is now, with that change, right, you can go to OpenSea and maybe even Timbucktoo, be on the lookout, and you can offer. Let's say you see a Bored Ape that you like, and you say, you know what, I have another Bored Ape that it doesn't cost as much as that one, but it's still quality Bored Ape. I'll offer that up, and I'll offer up the remaining balance in Ethereum. Right now, you're able to do that, versus before you can only pay in crypto. So this change to Seaport and using the Polygon network, it's going to save 460 million in total fees per year. So this is a huge move for OpenSea. It's a huge move for the NFT market when it comes to transactions and volume. We've seen, and Mamadou will get into this a little bit later, within the market, the daily volume is going down right now. Right, we're in a recession. Times are getting tough. Buyers are becoming more constrained. But with that, we're seeing a lot of great upgrades. We're going to see a lot of great things come out of this. So when we get to the other side, you'll definitely see a different world. We'll see more mature Web3 technology, a more mature Web3 marketplace. So yeah, man, it's an exciting time. It's an exciting time.
Cool. So what's the takeaway for the audience?
Yeah, so I have a little spill, and just like what this means, and I kind of touched on it just now, but I think the biggest takeaway is that these marketplaces are focusing on reducing gas fees and increasing the flexibility of what markets can do. Right. So I think, as businesses, creators, culture makers, as you're looking at marketplaces, right? We talked about looking at blockchain platforms, but now as you're looking at marketplaces and places you can go and sell your product, your NFT, excuse me, you want to, one, of course, think about, like, what does that marketplace offer? Where are they going? What is the focus? Are they continuing to innovate? But also, I think it's important for you as a patron of that marketplace to also give feedback to those marketplaces, right? Let them know, hey, this is what's going on. This is what we would like to see. This is how your marketplace can better serve not only my business, but the community at large, right? It's important for, in a sense, for the people who are using the platforms to work with the marketplace, to make sure that that marketplace becomes something that's special, right? Something that can become a staple within the economy and within business, and within the culture, if you will.
Mm-hmm.
So, that's the takeaway. That's what I got. A little long-winded, but
Just a little long-winded. All good though. Just messing. These are just jokes.
For sure. For
Cool.
sure.
All right, great, man. So but we're gonna do this real quickly because I know you got a quick take you wanted to expound upon,
Yeah.
kind of
Yeah.
similar to like what we talked about last week.
Yeah. For sure. For sure. Yeah, man. It's kind of like how we set it up, right? Like we're going from blockchain to marketplace. Now we're gonna dive into like NFTs and NFT projects, right? And with this quick take today, I want to build upon and expound upon what we talked about last week with copyright and what's going on with Moonbirds. So if you don't know. Moonbirds was actually launched by a guy named Kevin Rose. He founded the Proof Collective first, which was an exclusive NFT project where he only released 1,000 NFTs for exclusive members. And then from there, he launched Moonbirds, which was, more for the public and more public facing. And we talked a little bit about it last week, but Moonbirds, it set the market on fire, man. It generated $280 million worth of primary and secondary sales in 2 days. 2 days, that's it, 48 hours. 280 million was made from profile picture of Moonbirds.
Wow.
Crazy. Crazy.
280 million in 2 days.
280 million.
28% of a billion.
2 days. 2 days. More than $250 million in 2 days. So, of course, we talked about it a little bit last week, but they were kind of under a little bit of scrutiny. They were in hot water a little bit because they decided to change that Moonbirds. They decided, I don't want to say change, but they decided to go the route of Creative Commons 0 or CC0. Right. And what that is essentially no rights reserved. So it's an open source approach to brand building where anybody can use Moonbirds for commercials, memes, anything like that. And, what they expected is because of this, it would, essentially increase the branding, the brand or marketing of Moonbirds, right? So making sure that that Moonbirds is able to go viral on these platforms. You can use it for memes. You can use it in commercials. Like it's basically open season. But at the same time, it was a controversial decision. Some championed it, right? Some said, it's forward thinking. It's a Web3 mentality, right? Decentralized, but others, it was a loss of individual rights, right? And some people even claim that they have been deceived, right? They thought that this was an NFT where, hey, I'm buying this NFT, I get rights to, right? I get ownership, rights to this Moonbird. And then that was kind of pulled from under them, right? And we talked about last week, there was one guy that had a deal on the table and that deal ended up getting pulled because of that move, right? So it put them in a tough spot. But for the quick take, what I want to focus on is what Rose said. And I think this is important for, if you're thinking about starting an NFT project, you think about putting one out there, I think it's important to remember this. I thought this was like a great takeaway from Rose. So he told Decrypt, we knew that this change was going to be controversial, but fundamentally, we think pushing the limits and not becoming complacent will ultimately be the correct call. We're far too early in Web3 to stop experimenting.
Right.
I think that is the number one thing right now. If you're going to do an NFT project, if you're going to launch an NFT project, you cannot be afraid to experiment, right? Especially, Rose, he has a popular, NFT drop, right? So like he has eyes on him. He has things to lose. If you are, starting from a place of you only have, 20, 50 people buying right now, it is important for you to experiment. It's still early. You have a group of people that will, work with you on that experimentation, right? They will give you feedback. They will find ways to improve your project because they're invested in it. So
Right.
don't be afraid. This Web3 world, it's about taking risks. It's about experimenting. It's about, stepping out and doing something different and innovating. So that's what I got in terms of takeaway for our quick take. I appreciate y'all listening to me rant for 15 minutes.
It wasn't 15. But that was no, I love that quick take, bro.
Appreciate
And
it.
because it's all about being courageous, right?
Yep.
And being unafraid of mistakes. Oftentimes we limit ourselves because we're like, oh, this has to be perfect. I need to tweak this. I need to do that.
Yep.
But perfection does not exist. And it's just a procrastination tool. Go out there, like try it out. If you fail, learn why you failed and try again.
That's it.
So, I love that quick take, bro.
For sure. And I love your spiel at the end as well. That's the perfect summation of it. Be courageous.
Most definitely. Cool. So I do want to take a moment to like transition to the market, right?
Okay.
Let's talk about like what's happening within the space. So first things first, last week on the 26th, we got big news from the Fed Reserve with Jerome Powell, the head of the Fed. Not that Fed, but the Federal Reserve, central bank of the country.
Free Young
And
Thug.
Alphabet Boys.
Yep.
And what he said is essentially they're going to have like a hawkish monetary policy, meaning that the Federal Reserve Bank is going to become even more strict when it comes to the monetary policy and increase interest rates. So what does that all mean, right? The central bank is really responsible for setting the fiscal and the monetary policy. They essentially control the money, and their main aim is to ensure that the economy is, functioning well, that is growing. And during times of recessions or economic downturns, right, what they'll do is they'll have policies where they may do things such as raise interest rates to help offset the inflation that we're experiencing, because we're experiencing record high inflation here in the United States. And so what does that mean in the world of Web3 and crypto? Folks ain't like it. So people who are investing in Bitcoin, what we saw at that time was Bitcoin took a 4.3% decline at the announcement of that, right? And at that point it went down to $20,559. As of this morning, it even slumped a little bit lower and is now worth $20,041.76.
Jeez.
Right.
And that's huge because at one point Bitcoin was at 69,000. So, it's whew.
And the reason why it's important is within the world of crypto, Bitcoin essentially sets the market for everybody else. All the other cryptocurrencies tend to follow the path of Bitcoin. Like if Bitcoin's going up, you're going to see coins like Ethereum, Cardano, and the rest go up as well. But if it's going down, those coins go down as well. And while Bitcoin fell by like 4% at the time of that announcement, other cryptocurrencies such as Ethereum fell by like 11%. Once again, they follow the big fish in the market, right? And we're at this point where today's the first day of September. The Feds are most likely going to raise rates this month by 50 or 75 basis points, meaning like interest rates are going to go up. The Federal Reserve interest rates are going to go up by like 0.50 or 0.75%. And what happens whenever rates are raised, what it does is it offsets consumer spending because things become more expensive. Like debt becomes more expensive. People tend to stop spending as much. And if you're not spending as much, you're not going to invest your money in assets that are risky.
Yeah.
Cryptocurrency is probably like, outside of maybe making your own business, it's probably the most risky asset class as of right now. It's super volatile. The prices go up and down drastically each and every day. And as a consumer, if you're in a recession, things are tough, and things are going to remain tough for a while. Are you going to like put your money into something that's more surefire, or into like something that really goes up and down in huge spikes each and every day? The answer is you're not, which is why we're seeing these cryptocurrencies take a decline. So that's one big thing. Like, definitely pay attention to what's going on in the macro economy, like what's going on on the government level, because everything is interconnected.
Yep.
Yeah. And I also wanted to touch on what's happening within the NFT space, right? Because it's a great indication of overall market activity. So last year we talked about the number of transactions that occurred. Well, NFT sales have fallen by 35.57% within the past 7 days. So now we're at 60,259 sales as of this morning.
Yep.
And the total value of those sales had fallen by 60.26%, bro. To the total value being like $49.1 million of value.
Ooh, man.
And
that ain't looking too pretty.
Shoot,
ain't looking too pretty at all.
You had $100 and then you lost $60 in like 7 days to force us into control.
I'd be hurting. I'd be in pain. I'd be in pain. My girl had to come pick me up off the floor for sure. Be in a fetal position somewhere. Like, I don't know what happened. I don't know what's going on.
Right, because once again, we're in a recession. This is a time where gone are the days where you can just put stuff out there and it just goes buku crazy, right?
Yeah.
Like, you have to focus on value. Going back to what you was just saying, right, with the Moonbirds and like your quick take and your lessons, you have to be focused on value. This is the time to like experiment and see what truly sticks, because you can't just simply, put out things that aren't valuable.
Right.
And that's why on the Timbucktoo, we're working with business partners who focus on collectibles, who focus on giving out business solutions that are mad valuable. That's the approach that we're trying to take during this time, right? So from a personal standpoint, while it does seem kind of bleak, like, dang, like things are just falling apart, now is the perfect opportunity for you to be courageous, experiment, focus on value, and build something that's great during this time. But also be careful and be mindful of what's going on.
Yes, sir. Nah, man, that's great points. That's great points. The market is scary right now, man. Like, nothing that you said just now made me feel comfortable about me putting my money into the market, right? Like, it made me want to go hide my money somewhere that can't even the bank, nobody can touch it, right? But I think, and of course, we are not financial advisors. We do not give financial advice. We're simply just talking about, personal feelings about this. We know now.
Purposes.
Listen, that's it. It's strictly educational. But now is the time when, millionaires and billionaires are born, really. If you will. This is, I would say, in terms of what we've seen, what we've learned is that, recessionary times are tough. Recessionary times, you're going to see prices drop, but, what goes down, once it hits a floor, there's only one direction that it can go. Right. So if you're being smart about it, if, you're saving up your money, you find the right time to get in, you might find yourself benefiting from this time. Right. You might find yourself in being able to get a good deal, because these companies aren't going anywhere, right? Your Teslas aren't going anywhere. To be honest, your Bitcoin and Ethereum, they're not going anywhere,
They're not.
right? Your Cardanos, your Polka Dots, your your XRPs, like they're not going anywhere. So I think it's important for you know people, listeners, anybody who comes across this, um, look for companies that you think are going to be big. If you don't have it right now, put aside, a little bit of money here and there. And when you feel like the time has come, go ahead and put some money in, and just see where that goes. See where that
But
goes.
don't bet the house on it.
Don't bet the house on it. Don't bet the
That
house on it. And this is
and
not
don't bet.
financial advice. We just, saying what we would do.
Right. And also don't bet. Make educated decisions,
Yeah.
and you have a portion of your net worth that you're comfortable with possibly losing out on.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
Don't bet the house. I just have to put that out there.
For sure. And like I said, I think I said this last week, YouTube University, one of the best ways of going, just like, search up Warren Buffett, what he's saying about companies. You can't completely trust him, but just look at what he's doing. Of course, Earn Your Leisure, Market Mondays is great about this. Just talking through. Go listen to some old episodes as well. They have some gems in there. But yeah, don't let this time scare you away. Take the news about the market, take it with a grain of salt. Understand that this is what happens. Markets go up, markets go down, and you will see it come back. So
Definitely.
yeah.
Cool. Well, just to wrap things up, man, did you want to give some more free game before we leave out?
Yeah, man, I got some free game that's just heavy on my heart, man. It was heavy on my heart. I was thinking about it this morning, man. This free game is specifically for my underrepresented founders, man. It's for you. And I feel as underrepresented founders, right? Black, Latinx, Native, women of color, right? I feel like a lot of times the market, the investors, they count you out, right? And they feel as though you know you may not be the best bet when it comes to being an entrepreneur, right? And with this free game, what I want to focus on is not necessarily that piece, because I believe the best founders that you can have are probably going to come from this group of people, right? If given the same opportunities, the same resources, underrepresented founders will outperform, right? But what I want to focus on is not that you should be given a chance, or money should be invested. I feel like those things are a given at this point in terms of how I feel personally. But what I want to focus on is the competitiveness of your innovation with your companies, right? And of course, there are a lot of startups that are being super innovative, and shout out to those companies, those businesses. But I don't want you guys to be left behind in terms of Web3, blockchain technology, NFTs, DeFi. Like, this is something that is here to stay. This is something that's going to be the staple of businesses. Your big companies are focusing on it right now, right?
Facts.
And of course, I'm an always shameless plug. The Timbucktoo, Relink. You guys come talk to us, right? And even if you don't decide to work with us, even if you decide to go your own way, we want to give you game. This is why we started this podcast. It's so that you don't get left behind in terms of this new technology, man. I know businesses that are still now only adopting the internet and websites and things like that. We don't want that same thing to happen for this new era of the internet,
Absolutely.
right? So tap in with us. And that was heavy on my heart, man. Tap in with us, innovate, the main thing that we focus on is innovation and experimenting, right? We will focus on the technology for you. We will help you integrate that technology. We want you to be open to experimenting and trying something new and innovating. And we want you to focus on your business aspect, and we help you with that innovation and that experimenting aspect. So tap in with us. We want you to be competitive. We want you to be better than. We don't, we already know that you're better than, but we want you to be better than when it comes to innovating and innovation as well. So my free game for the day is for my underrepresented founders. Tap in with us, at least subscribe, check out our podcast, our clips. Reach out to us via Twitter, Instagram at Relink Global, and let's build something special. Let's build something special. So that's my free game for the day.
Love it, love it. That's perfect, man. And I want to thank everybody for tapping in.
Yes, sir.
Definitely please continue to follow us in this journey as we break down everything together.
Yep.
And stay blessed, everybody.
Peace.
Peace.